Every Friday, over 1 billion Muslims around the world recite the same chapter of the Quran, Surah Kahf, 110 verses, 4 ancient stories. The Prophet promised that whoever memorizes the first 10 verses will be protected from the greatest evil ever to walk the earth, Dajjal, the false Messiah, the one-eyed liar who will deceive the whole world before the end of time. But here's the strange part. Surah Kahf never mentions Dajjal by name, not once. So why this chapter? Why these 4 stories? And what exactly do they have to do with the Antichrist? The answer lies in a pattern scholars have pointed to for centuries. 4 stories, 4 trials, 1 shield. Let's break down every connection between Surah Kahf and Dajjal. The promise. Before we get to the stories, you need to understand the hadiths that started all of this. The Prophet said, "Whoever memorizes 10 verses from the beginning of Surah Kahf will be protected from Dajjal." In another narration, it's the last 10 verses. This is reported in Sahih Muslim, one of the most authentic hadith collections in Islam. And then this, "Whoever recites Surah Kahf on Friday, a light will shine for him from one Friday to the next." These aren't obscure narrations. They are mainstream, accepted across nearly every school of Islamic thought. It's why you'll find Muslims from Indonesia to Morocco reciting this exact chapter every single Friday. But the Prophet didn't spell out the reason. He left scholars to find the pattern themselves, and they did. 4 stories, 4 trials. Unlike most chapters of the Quran, Surah Kahf contains 4 distinct stories stacked one after another. Each is a self-contained narrative. The people of the cave, the owner of 2 gardens, Musa and Khidr, Dhul Qarnayn. At first glance, they look unrelated. A group of sleeping youth, a rich man losing his farms, a prophet chasing a mysterious teacher, a king building a wall. But look closer, and a pattern emerges. Each story is about a specific type of test, and according to Hadith, Dajjal will bring exactly 4 types of trials to humanity: faith, wealth, knowledge, power, story by story, trial by trial. Connection 1. The trial of faith. The first story is the most famous. A group of young believers in a pagan city. Their king demands they abandon their monotheism and worship idols, refuse and die, so they flee. They hide in a cave. Allah puts them to sleep for 309 years, and when they wake up, the entire empire has converted to their faith. This is the trial of religion. Staying loyal to God when the whole society around you is not. Dajjal will bring exactly this trial. According to Hadith, he will first claim to be a righteous man, then a prophet, then God himself. He will have supernatural abilities. He will command the sky to rain. He will command the earth to give crops. He will appear to bring the dead back to life. Many will believe him. Most will abandon their faith. The people of the cave teach the response. When the whole world goes mad, you retreat. You hold on to the truth no matter the cost, even if you have to disappear for centuries. Connection 2. The trial of wealth. The second story is about 2 men. One is rich, the other is poor. The rich man owns 2 lush gardens full of fruit and grain, with a river running through them. He becomes arrogant. He walks through his estate and says, "I don't think this will ever end. And even if there is an afterlife, God will give me something better there too." His poor friend warns him, "Don't forget who gave you this." That very night, a storm destroys the entire garden. By morning, the rich man is left wringing his hands over smoldering ruins. This is the trial of wealth. Being so attached to what you own that you forget who gave it to you. Dajjal's primary weapon? Wealth. According to Hadith, he will travel with mountains of bread and rivers of water. He will command the earth, and it will throw up its treasures. The poor and the starving will follow him just to eat. The lesson of the 2 gardens is direct. Do not sell your faith for food. Do not let desperation make you forget who the real provider is. Everything Dajjal offers, Allah has already given. Connection 3. The trial of knowledge. The third story is the strangest. The prophet Musa, one of the greatest prophets in Islam, is told there is someone who knows more than him, a mysterious figure named Khidr. Musa seeks him out, and what follows is bizarre. Khidr damages a boat belonging to poor fishermen. He kills a young boy. He repairs a wall in a town that refused to feed them. Musa is horrified. He keeps objecting. Finally, Khidr reveals the hidden reasons behind every act. The boat was damaged to save it from a tyrant king who was seizing ships. The boy would have grown up to destroy his parents' faith. The wall had treasure buried under it for 2 orphans. This is the trial of knowledge, trusting divine wisdom even when events appear senseless. Dajjal will attack through knowledge too. He will show miracles that seem to prove his claims. He will confuse people with what their own eyes can see and their own ears can hear. He will make followers out of scholars and skeptics alike. The story of Khidr teaches a single rule. What you see is never the full picture. Submit to the one who sees it all. Connection 4. The Trial of Power. The final story is the story of Dhul-Qarnayn, a righteous king given authority over vast lands, east to west. He travels to the edges of the known world, bringing justice wherever he goes. Finally, he meets a people being terrorized by Gog and Magog, a destructive tribe. He uses his power and resources to build a massive wall of iron and molten copper, sealing the enemy behind it until the end of time. And notice what he says when the people offer him payment. What my Lord has given me is better. This is the trial of power. Having authority and using it for justice, not ego. Dajjal is the exact opposite. He will have global reach. He will have armies of followers. He will rule vast territories. And he will use all of it to crush the truth and elevate himself. Dhul-Qarnayn shows you what real leadership looks like. Power without arrogance. Strength in the service of the weak. Authority that remembers who actually gave it. Why Friday? So why did the prophet tell us to recite this exact chapter every Friday? Friday is the day humanity was created. Friday is the day Adam entered paradise. And according to Hadith, Friday is the day the final hour will be established. Reciting Surah Kahf weekly is not a ritual for blessing alone. It is a rehearsal. Every Friday, you walk through the 4 trials in your mind. Faith, wealth, knowledge, power. You remind yourself how each one is defeated, so that when the real test arrives, you have already trained for it. The final warning. The prophet described Dajjal's arrival as the greatest trial since the creation of Adam. Greater than any war, greater than any plague, greater than any persecution in human history. And yet, he left his followers a simple shield. 110 verses, 4 stories, 1 chapter. Read it once a week. Memorize the opening verses. Understand what they actually mean. And when the liar finally walks the earth claiming to be everything from a prophet to a god, you will already know every trick before he plays it, because the whole playbook is in Surah Kahf. Assalamu alaikum.